Cutiecalities, welcome back to my channel. My voice is a little bit strange, but I'm feeling a little bit better now, so I wanted to keep up with you guys for this week and have a video related to Valentine's Day, as I know it's already around the corner. And in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how you can crochet mug cozies, so one for the house and one for the takeaway cup, and also for the ones that you get in a coffee shop. So this is going to fit perfectly on those, and I really hope you guys enjoy the video, so let's begin. So this is everything that I'm going to be using for the tutorial, and for my yarns I'm going to be using these 5 colors right here. So the red one, the grey, the beige, the white with a little bit of sparkle, and the pink one. And if you guys want to know the yarn weight, so these 3 right here are 4 ply and these 2 right here are DK. And I'm also going to be linking everything in the description below if you guys want to check it out. So I'm also going to be using a small pair of scissors, 1 button. I bought this one on Amazon and the size is 2 centimeters. I'm going to be using a tapestry needle, a 5mm hook. If you guys want, you can use stitch markers, and I'm also going to be using a measuring tape to measure everything for you guys. So first I'm going to be showing you guys how you can crochet this one right here. And there is a little button on the side that you can just open and remove the mug cozy. So this is how it looks like once it's open. As you can see, the button, the heart, and then the little opening right here. So you can just close it around the mug. So if you guys want to do by the measurement, you have to take 2 measurements. If you don't want to do by the measurement, then that's absolutely fine. You can just crochet and then measure around your mug while you're doing the crochet. But if you guys want to measure, the first thing that you're going to measure is around the mug, like this. And then you just want to add a few centimeters so you can create this little part right here for the button. Okay, so mine is around 27 centimeters, and then you want to add 7 centimeters on that, so that's going to be 34. So once you know the length, you want to measure how wide you want the mug cozy. So you're just going to be measuring like this, and then you just choose how wide you want. So I'm going to be choosing 7 centimeters for my house mug, and it's basically the centimeter for this one right here. So it's 7 centimeters wide, and for the length is 34 centimeters. So now to begin, for this one right here, I'm gonna be using the red yarn, the beige, and the white one. And then first I'm gonna be creating a slip knot and then a chain that is long enough to cover 7 centimeters, which is basically the size for the mug cozy. So right here. So I am going to be chaining 8 plus 1 for the turn, so in total 9. So as you can see here, if I hold on 7 and if I pull a little bit, it reaches number 1, so that's what you want to have. And of course I did the single crochets going around my mug cozy, but that's going to be up to you, but that's going to be around ½ centimeter, a little bit bigger than only with the red one. So we already created the turning chain, so we are going to be skipping that one, and on the second one we are going to be creating our first single crochet, just like that. And then we are going to be creating single crochets all the way down. So this is how it looks like. So now we are going to be chaining 1, and then we are going to be turning. And then we are going to be working in the entire stitch, not on the back or the front, on the entire stitch, and then skipping the very first one, which is basically this one right here. And then we are going to be moving into the next one with the single crochets all the way down. And also remember to get the very last stitch. So now we are going to be doing basically the body of the mug cozy, and then we are going to be doing this part right here. So now for 41 rows in total, so I have 2 here, so I have to continue mine. So for 41 rows, I'm only going to be doing single crochets going all the way up until I have 27 centimeters, which is basically the size of my mug. So from here, from the beginning, I'm not counting the single crochets. Until 27 centimeters, I'm just going to be doing single crochets going all the way straight. And when I reach 27, I'll be back, and then we are going to be doing a few little decreases and also this little part right here for the button. So when I have my 41 rows completed with only single crochets all the way up right here, which is 27 centimeters, I'll be back, and then we are going to be doing the next step. So this is how it looks like once you have 41 rows completed. So now we are going to be doing 2 rows with decreases. So if you want to use the stitch markers for this part, you can do. I'm not going to be using stitch markers. So now to create the decrease, I'm going to be turning without creating a chain at the beginning right here. So just turn. And we are going to be skipping the very first stitch and the very last stitch to create the decreases. So you're going to be skipping the chain and also the very first stitch. On the second one, we are going to be creating the first single crochet. And then we are going to be creating single crochets until you have 1 stitch left. And the very last stitch we are just going to be leaving as it is. We are not going to be creating any single crochets on this one. So just leave that one without doing any single crochets. And then for the last decrease, you are going to be turning. And then you're just going to be doing the same. Single crochet in the second stitch. All the way down. Leaving the last stitch without doing any single crochets, which is this one right here. So once you have created the decreases for the 2 rows, you will have 4 stitches left. So 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. And we are going to be working now on these ones. So now I'm going to be chaining 1, and then I'm going to be turning. So after the chain 1, we are going to be skipping the very first stitch. On the next one, we are going to be creating a single crochet, and then we are going to be chaining 2. And then on the next 2 stitches, we are going to be creating single crochets. So no skipping. So just going to the next one, single crochet, the next one, single crochet. And then you're going to be chaining 1, turning, and then just creating single crochets all the way down. Inside of the loop, you're just going to be creating 1 single crochet, and then all the way down with single crochets. So this is what it should look like, and you have a little loop right here for the button. And you can see this is something that you have to check with your button if it's gonna fit. So you can see that mine one fits perfectly. So now you can fasten off, and if you're not changing the color, then you can just keep that, and then you can just create the single crochets from here all the way around. I'm going to be changing the color, so I'm going to be using the beige one. So I'm going to be fastening off, and then I'm going to be changing the color, and then I'll be back to show you guys what to do next. So I have the beige right here attached to my project. So now I'm going to be creating single crochets going all the way around. So we don't really have stitches around the project, so you're going to be finding one and creating a single crochet. So I'm just going to be finding stitches and then creating the single crochets. So this is what I'm going to be doing now. So I'm just going to be continuing all the way around, and then I'll meet you guys right at the top right here. So I am here at the top now. I'm just going to be finishing with my single crochets. So now you can slip stitch with the other side, connecting both sides, and then you can fasten off. So before I continue, I'm just going to be weaving in all of my yarns and then cutting the remaining, and then I'll be back. So now we are going to be attaching the button. So I'm going to be using a button, my tapestry needle, and a little bit of the red yarn. So now I'm just going to be putting my cozy in the mug, and you want to see where you want to place the button. So I'm gonna be attaching my one right here, so you can just stretch a little bit so it's nice and tight around the mug. And then what I'm gonna be doing is just passing my needle through the loop that I've created here in this part right here, as you can see. So just pass through, and then you want to choose a stitch on this side, just like that. And then from here you can attach your button. And then you can fasten off and cut the remaining yarn at the back. There we go, this is how it looks like. You can leave it like this if you want to be a little bit more masculine, but if you want, you can create the little heart. So I'm gonna show you guys how you crochet the heart. I'm not gonna show you guys how to crochet with the white one, otherwise you guys will not be able to see in the camera. I'm gonna show you guys how to create the heart with the beige, and then I'm gonna be attaching mine one with the beige, but of course you can create in any other color that you want. So to crochet the heart, we are going to be creating a magic loop. And then from this loop we are going to be creating right here at the beginning a single crochet. And then inside of the loop we are going to be creating 7 single crochets. So 7 single crochets, and then we are going to be closing the magic loop, just pulling this yarn right here. And then we are going to be attaching to the other side with a slip stitch. And then we are going to be using these ones right here to create the little heart. So on this very first stitch right here, we are going to be creating 5 double crochets straight going into this stitch right here. So you're going to be creating 5 double crochets. So now we are going to be working with half double crochets. So we are going to be creating 2 half double crochets on the next 2 stitches. So on this next one, 2 half double crochets, and then also on the next one, 2 half double crochets. So now on the next stitch we are going to be creating 1 double crochet. So now you're going to be chaining 2, and then going back to the first chain at the back, we are going to be creating a slip stitch. There we go. So we have a little point here at the end. And then going back to the same stitch where we created double crochet, the last one, we are going to be creating the second double crochet on that same stitch. So now we are going to be repeating the same thing that we've created on this side, but on this other side right here. So on the next 2 stitches we are going to be creating 2 half double crochets on each stitch. And then on the next stitch available we are going to be creating 5 double crochets on that same stitch. So now you're just going to go back to the base, and then we are going to be creating a slip stitch. There we go. Pull tight. So now you can fasten off, so I'm just going to be chaining 1, cutting my yarn, and then I can fasten off. And then I'm just going to be creating a little knot at the back with these 2 yarns right here. So now you can just choose where you want to place your heart. I'm gonna be putting it right here, as you can see. And then you can just sew it together. It's very easy to sew in the project. So I'm also going to be using my red yarn to sew my heart in the project. So choose where you want to place your heart. You can place it like this. So go from the back of the project and then grab a little stitch from the heart at the back. And then you're going to be moving it to the back. And then we are going to be creating a little knot on the back right here. And then I'm just going to be moving my yarn and needle to the front. So now I'm just going to go all the way around, just sewing the heart with my mug cozy. So I'm just going to be grabbing a little bit of the red yarn and a little bit of the heart. So I'm just going to be sewing the two together. And then I'm basically going to be doing this all the way around. So when you reach at the end, you're just going to be moving the needle to the back and then you can fasten off. So this is how it looks like, and this is how you create the first mug cozy. And now I'm going to be showing you guys the next one. So this is the next one. I'm going to be showing you guys how to crochet, and this one it's much easier and super quick to crochet. And I'm going to be creating this mug cozy for this takeaway cup right here that I have from Costa. And the only thing that you have to create is a chain that it's long enough to go all the way around the bottom of the cup, and then we're just going to be working with rows all the way up without increases or decreases or anything like that. If your yarn is basically the same as mine, that it's a little bit stretchy, then that's gonna work. If your yarn is not stretchy, then you have to create a few increases, so keep that in mind. So for this cozy, I'm gonna be using the gray one and the pink. So I'm gonna be starting with the gray one. So first I'm gonna be creating a slip knot, and then I'm gonna be chaining 27 plus 3 for the turn. We are going to be working with double crochets. And this is what you want to make sure that goes around the bottom of the cup. So if you want, you can attach to the other side with a slip stitch and work in rounds. I don't really like working in rounds, so I'm just going to be working in rows, but that's going to be up to you. You can just follow exactly the same steps even if you're working in rounds with this project. So once you have the chain of 30, you can just skip 3. So 1, 2, 3. On the fourth one, which is this one right here, we are going to be creating our first double crochet. There we go. And then we are going to be working with double crochets all the way down. So when you reach at the end, you're just going to be chaining 3, turn, and then you're going to be skipping the very first stitch on the next one, a single crochet, and then just the same single crochets all the way down. Also make sure you get the very last stitch. So this is what I'm going to be doing for the first part of my cozy. So as you can see, just double crochets going up. So in total I'm going to be doing 7 rows, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. You can do less or more if you want. So when I have all of the ones that I have to do, I'll be back to show you guys what to do next. So once you have all of the 7 rows completed, you can fasten off, but I'm going to be leaving a little bit of the yarn right here so I can sew the project on the sides together. So I'm just going to be cutting. So I'm just going to be chaining 1, and then I'm just going to be fastening off. So now I'm just going to be folding in half, and then I'm just going to be using this yarn right here just to sew the sides together. And I'm going to be using my tapestry needle for that. So when you reach the end, you can just fasten off. So now you can turn inside out, just like that. So remember that where you started is basically the bottom of the cozy, and the top right here where we finished the double crochets is the top, because it's a little bit more stretchy, so it's gonna fit perfectly into the cup. So now I'm going to be creating the single crochets on the top and also the bottom. So I'm just going to be attaching my yarn on any of the stitches on the top and then creating single crochets all the way around. And then I'm also going to be doing exactly the same for the bottom. So I have just finished with my single crochets on the top and bottom, as you can see. And because I showed you guys how you crochet a heart already, I wanted to show you guys something a little bit more different. So I'm going to show you guys how you crochet a small flower. So this one right here, I'm going to be showing you guys how to crochet. And then I'm going to be placing one at the top and then one at the bottom right here, which is basically the same way I've sewn in the heart on my project. This one right here, I'm going to be using the same method to sew in my flower. So first I'm going to be starting with a magic loop, and then I'm going to be chaining one. So now I'm going to be creating 9 single crochets. So now I'm going to be closing the magic loop, and then I'm going to be slip stitching on the first chain that I've created here at the beginning, just connecting both sides together. So the flower is going to be very easy to create. So on the very first stitch you're going to be creating 5 double crochets on that same stitch. And then on the next stitch that you find, you're going to be creating a slip stitch. And then on the next stitch we are going to be creating 5 double crochets, just like the beginning, and then a slip stitch on the next. And then you're just going to be repeating the same steps all the way around, and then I'll meet you guys at the end. So when you get at the end, you're just going to be finding the base right here, and then you're just going to be creating a slip stitch, and then you can chain one and then fasten off. So now I'm just going to be creating a little knot with these 2 yarns, and then I'm going to be attaching my flowers in the cozy. So just as I did the sewing for the heart on the other cozy, the first one that I showed you guys, I'm going to be doing for the flowers. So I'm just going to be attaching my yarn and then sew all the way around, and then I'll be back to show you guys how everything looks like. So this is how it looks like when everything is completed. I've put on the cup so you guys can see how this one looks like. I think I do prefer the ones with the flower better than the one with the heart and coffee written in it, but I do prefer this one. I think this one is my favorite one. Let me know in the comments below which one is your favorite. And also remember that you can give this in any other occasion. It doesn't need to be Valentine's Day. You can do it in many different colors, many different styles. So you can just play around and create many different ones. So I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. It's quite last minute, but I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you give a massive thumbs up. And also don't forget to subscribe so you can join the Cutiecality family and watch more of my videos. So I'll see you guys soon on my next video. Bye bye!